This is a short discussion of a therapy technique called video modeling. It is a technique to create short videos that can be used as a model for someone who needs more concrete visual support. This therapy technique is effective for a wide variety of individuals, for anyone with impairments in working memory, sustained or focused attention, executive function skills, impairments in speech, and especially impairments in social skills and language. Video modeling traditionally has been used for modeling the steps to complete a task. It's been used by job coaches for individuals with developmental disabilities. For example, a series of short videos could be created to show someone how to clean up and set up supplies for the next day. The steps might include sweeping, taking out the trash, filling containers of condiments, and folding more pizza boxes. In addition to having a list posted on the wall, individuals with developmental disabilities often need a more concrete visual support. A video schedule is a visual support in the form of a list, where each item in the list is also linked to a short video that can be viewed if needed. It is most effective if the video for each step is very short. This allows the person to view only the steps they need to see so they can complete the task very quickly. Video modeling has been used to teach social skills. Short videos can be created to show social interactions which can then be discussed or practiced. The video can be filmed from the perspective of someone interacting in the situation, so that watching the video makes it feel like you are right there in the interaction. Video modeling has been an especially effective method to teach communication initiations to individuals with autism. Many times, individuals with autism will respond only when they are spoken to. They will not initiate communication and they will not ask a question. It has been found that initiating communication, and especially asking a question, has been identified as a pivotal response in language development. Once a child learns to ask a question, learning will continue outside the classroom and outside the therapy room. Anytime the child wants more information, he can ask for it. Without the skill of being able to initiate communication and asking a question, the child is extremely limited. This is a common problem. The child with autism will often sit in class, perhaps not bothering anyone, but when he doesn't understand something, he will not raise his hand to ask a question. If the students are working in small groups, the child with autism may be in a group, but no one is talking to him. While the other students are discussing the assignment, the one with autism is not initiating any conversation. He's not asking any questions. He may have difficulty knowing exactly how to get in on a conversation, when to take a conversation turn. How do you get someone's attention when you want to say something? This is very difficult for people with social skills deficits. An effective method to develop this skill is to use video modeling. You can create several short videos of the student to make a very concrete visual support to scaffold communication initiation and question asking. Set up a role-playing script where you and the student can practice a routine that involves initiating communication and asking questions. For older children, I like the script of needing to ask a question during class. For example, you can play the role of the teacher talking about something the child is learning about in class. It would be more natural if the student tells you a question he actually wants to ask the teacher during class. After practicing it several times, film the student in several short clips that show exactly what he should do to initiate a communication and how to ask a question. If the student has significant difficulty, as many of these students do, and he cannot do this independently, you may need to give lots of specific prompts. If this happens, keep filming. You may end up with 3 minutes of video where you can be heard specifically telling the student exactly what to do. Try to limit your speaking so that you are not speaking when he actually does each step. This way, you can edit your prompting out of the video so it will end up looking like the student independently is doing each step. Then the student can watch the video repeatedly and use it as a model to practice what he needs to do. There are many apps for the iPad that make this really easy to do now. You have to look at each one to see which one will work the best for your situation. What you want is an app that has a very simple menu system where you can create a list of steps. You need one that has a capability to link each step to a video. I like the one called Video Scheduler. It starts out with a main menu that has 4 options. You can create a schedule, you can edit a schedule, you can share a schedule, or you can just view a schedule you've already made. We're going to view one that I already made. I set up a category called Classroom Behavior. Down here I have conversation turns, but let's go into Classroom Behavior, and then I have Raising Your Hand During Class. And here I made a list of 4 steps that are involved. It's on the handout so you can see it better. There's 4 steps involved in asking a question during class. Step 1, it says reading, writing, and working independently. Step 2 says raise your hand and wait for your name to be called. Step 3 says if the teacher calls someone else, wait until the teacher calls your name. And step 4 says when your name is called, you can ask a question or make a comment. If these steps were enough for the student to be able to do this, he could just go by this list. But if he needs more concrete support, he could see the video for each step. So the first step says reading, writing, and working independently. This video was made to show the student working quietly and independently. So this is just showing a student. It's actually my friend, Grace, but she's just going to be showing that you would sit there and you're reading, you're writing, you're working independently. This is what you do when you're first in class before you have a question. At the end of the short video, a prompt comes up and asks if you're done or if you want to repeat it. So I'm going to hit done. Okay, step 2 on the list says raise your hand and wait for your name to be called. Here in this video, the student is going to be shown working, and then she looks puzzled, she looks around, and then she's going to raise her hand and wait for the teacher to call on her. So she's working, she's looking a little puzzled. Here's what she does. She raises her hand. She's going to just wait there now till her name is called. Okay, so this is something the student could model. At the end, again, it asks if you're done or you want to see it again. We'll say done. Okay, step 3 says, if the teacher calls someone else, wait until the teacher calls your name. In this video, I'm going to play the role of the teacher. The student has their hand up, but I call someone else's name. So the student looks to the side, pretending to listen to someone else, and keeps waiting quietly for their turn. Okay, I need to call on someone. Michael, what do you have to say? So she's looking to the side, pretending to listen to someone else, and she's just waiting there patiently until it's her turn. Okay, it's asking if you want to repeat it or done. I'll say done. Okay, the last step says, when your name is called, you can ask a question or make a comment. Here I'm again going to play the role of the teacher, and when I call on the student, she's going to make a comment during the class discussion about global warming. Thank you, Michael, for telling us what you think. Okay, I need to call on someone else. Okay, Grace, what do you think?
I do agree with what you were saying about the Earth is warming up, and we really need to do something about it. Because I think that's good. And I do agree with what you said.
All right, thank you. And it asks if you are done or want to see it again. I won't put you through that again. I'll mark done. And I don't know if you can see on here. I'll have it on the handout, but After each step that was completed is done, a little check mark is showing on the side that that task was done, that step was done. In that last video, I actually wanted her to ask a question, but she didn't think of one, and I didn't specifically ask that, so she just made a comment. Oh, you can also take a screenshot in any of the apps, but I'll show it in this one. If you want to make a hard copy, you just hold down the home button and press the button here, and it took a screenshot. So now I can go into the camera roll and have a screenshot of that list. I could print it or email it to myself. That way I can have a printed page like this that just shows the exact steps that I set up. Later, when the student improves, instead of needing the video models, they may be able to do it just from the list, just from pointing to the list. To film those kind of shots, you don't need a tripod to hold the iPod steady. We just used a case like this. The iPod fits in here with a little Velcro strap. This is meant to let the iPod be at a different angle, but you can also use it to put the iPod vertical and it'll hold it, and that way you can actually use the front camera on the iPod, and you and the student can both be in a conversation and model conversation turn taking and a bunch of other things. This app also runs on your phone or on an iPod. So here it is again. I'll put it up here so you can see the 4 menu choices on that app, where you can create a schedule, you can edit a schedule, you can share a schedule, or you can view it. This means if it's on an iPod, the student can have it in their pocket and have it with them all the time. You could quickly make a video schedule without a lot of advanced planning, without a lot of equipment. I'm going to show you how easy it is, so I'm going to go make one right now just to show you how fast it is. I'm going to go into Edit Schedule, and let's say I'm going to add a task. It's going to say, let's say I'm working with a young child with autism, and I've set up a sabotage situation where I've given her a container with a toy in it, and she can't open it. And she's struggling, and I want her to model asking for help, asking me to open it. And if I can catch her on a video, I want to get that. So I would call this ask, because she's going to ask for help. It's going to say, do I want to take a video? I'll say yes, take the video. And I'm just going to use this part on my phone. I'm struggling. Can you help me? Now, I filmed myself, but you would be filming the child. I'm going to say yes, I want to save it. Okay, let's do another one. Let's say we're going to do one where we want her to ask what something is, so that if I open it for her and I want her to ask what it is. So I'm going to say, take the video. What is this? So I say save, yes. Save it, yes. Okay, so I'm done now, and I'm going to go there and I'm going to view this one, and let's see if it is there. Here's where she's asking for help.
Can you help me?
And see how it says ask on the screen? You can put a little prompt there. I'm going to say I'm done. Here's the next one where she's going to say, the first one said ask, the second one says what, where she's going to ask what is it.
What is this?
So I'll again say done. So it's just a very effective, quick and easy way what I would do is I would set up a couple of questions where I can catch her, videotape her saying the questions that I want her to say, and then I would print out a list. So when I was working with her, I would point to the list and try to get her to say the things that we were working on, the questions. If she can't do it, I'm going to show her the model of her doing it. And for autism, it's also great to work on their inflection and their intonation. You know, their prosody is frequently very monotone and repetitive. They'll say, instead of saying, will you help me, they'll say, can you help me? Help me? What is this? You can try to work on the inflection a little bit at the same time. So this app provides a simple way to organize a number of short video clips into a menu system so you can group them and label them as steps to different communication goals. Be careful to use a very simple app for video modeling, at least initially. Some of the apps try to link the videos to a calendar with alerts and timers, but some of them, or most of them, have unintended problems. They're still trying to fix those to work well. They're a little complicated. Some work well, but you end up with a lot of problems you didn't want. Just stay with the real simple ones. That's all you really need. Remember, just having this software does not create the therapy activity. You need to evaluate the child and understand their difficulty and design a therapeutic activity that will provide a more concrete visual support to scaffold their practice so they can learn these skills. You want to be able to fade the cues over time. For example, at first, the child may need to actually watch the video for each step and imitate it. Later, it may be effective to just point to the choice on the screen or on a printed list. The video modeling is only a more concrete visual support, a higher cue in your cueing hierarchy. Remember, to facilitate generalization to the natural setting, try to make the role-playing and the video steps in a setting that is similar to the natural environment if possible. You can use props to make the video more similar. For example, to the natural environment. For example, we used notebooks. We weren't in a classroom, but we used notebooks. We had books, a shelf behind us to make it appear similar to a classroom. Other ideas for using video modeling to stimulate language development can include creating a set of short videos about a topic that can be used as scaffolding to tell a narrative. For example, during the school day, you could create several short videos that the child can then show at home while narrating to the parents about what happened at school. This would also be a very effective way to target verb tenses. The child could say, this is showing me doing it. Today in school I did it. Tomorrow I might do it again. This technique of video modeling has also been used for a variety of other applications. I've seen ones that are have a series of videos modeling speech sounds to help someone with apraxia. There's a bunch of free apps that do that, and some expensive ones which are actually quite good with words and phrases. There are also ones that model swallowing exercise. I've seen that one. That one actually has a timer. You set up which swallowing exercises you think are appropriate, and throughout the day, a timer goes off, and they have to copy that exercise from the model. I've also seen one for vocal function exercises. In addition to hearing the pitch glides and the resonance, the video models are showing proper breathing exercises, proper posture, and diaphragmatic breathing. I know many students here at the Language, Speech, and Hearing Center have been using video modeling with students in the Fluency Clinic. People who stutter may find it helpful to see a short video model of themselves speaking more fluently. This way they can practice speaking while limiting any secondary behaviors. There are references on the handout. This video schedule app costs, I think it was $12. Let me know if you can think of other ways to use video modeling. Thanks a lot.